Hello, welcome to this lecture series on Introduction to Molecular Quantum Mechanics. My name is Gopalakrishnan. I am a faculty in the Department of Chemistry, D.G. Vaishnav College. In this lecture, I am going to discuss molecular term symbol for diatomic molecules. Okay, let's get started. Molecular term symbol. Electronic configuration of a molecule could not explain the observed electronic spectrum of the molecule. See, when you take electronic spectrum, you will get many signals for different electronic transitions, but electronic configuration could not explain why so many signals appear in electronic spectrum. Okay. Then ground state electronic configuration of a molecule is expected to be the ground electronic level of the molecule, but it is not so. See, what is meant by that? See, often we will write this is the ground electronic configuration of this molecule. Okay, ground electronic configuration doesn't mean that it corresponds to a ground electronic level. Okay, it is just an electronic configuration, that's all. But due to electron-electron repulsion, see, electronic configuration does not consider electron-electron repulsion. Okay, so due to electron-electron repulsion, various electronic levels arise for the given electronic configuration of the molecule. So, for a given electronic configuration, various electronic levels actually arise, okay, due to electron-electron repulsion, and each of these levels are represented by a symbol called term symbol or simply term. Okay, so due to electron-electron repulsion, you will get many electronic levels. Okay, and each of these levels are given a symbol called term symbol, also simply called terms. Okay, then if the degeneracy of a term is greater than or equal to 2, then further splitting of the electronic level occurs due to spin orbit coupling. So, due to spin orbit coupling, each of these levels that are formed due to electron-electron repulsion, okay, may undergo further splitting, okay, depending upon the degeneracy of the level. Suppose if the level is non-degenerate, no further splitting occurs. But if the levels are degenerate, okay, doubly degenerate or triply degenerate like that, then it may undergo spin orbit coupling, so that splitting of the levels may occur. Okay, so here I have given the collective picture. See, we expected that electronic configuration corresponds to a particular electronic level of the molecule, but it is not so. Due to electron-electron repulsion, okay, you will get many electronic levels, right? And these electronic levels are given symbols, right? These symbols are called term symbols actually. And each of these levels, electronic levels, okay, may undergo further splitting due to spin orbit coupling. Okay, then for molecules, the irreducible representations corresponding to the point group of the molecule can be used as term symbols. Listen, for atoms and for monoatomic ions, we derive term symbols, okay, based on the Russell-Sander coupling or JJ coupling technique, but we use the symbol like capital S, capital P, capital D, capital F, etc. For molecules, okay, the irreducible representations, okay, that is called Mulliken symbols. The Mulliken symbols corresponding to the point group of the molecule can be used as term symbols. So what we have to do, for a given molecule, for the given electronic configuration, we should identify the irreducible representation corresponding to that configuration. Then that irreducible representation, that is Mulliken symbol, is actually considered as the term symbol. So for molecules, Mulliken symbols, right, are actually considered, are used as the term symbols. In this lecture, I am going to discuss diatomic molecules first. Then after completing diatomic molecule, we will discuss polyatomic molecules. See, in diatomic molecules, we have two types, homodiatomic molecules and heterodiatomic molecules. Homodiatomic molecules belong to D infinity H point group. Heterodiatomic molecules belong to C infinity V point group. We know very well that D infinity H point group consists of center of symmetry. Okay, so with respect to center of symmetry, right, the molecular term symbol may either possess Gerard notation or un-Gerard notation. So for homodiatomic molecule, we should put either Gerard or un-Gerard notation in the molecular term symbol. Okay, whereas in the case of heterodiatomic molecules, okay, it belongs to C infinity V point group. This group does not contain center of symmetry. Therefore, Gerard un-Gerard notations, okay, are not applicable for heterodiatomic molecules. We are not going to use Gerard un-Gerard symbol for heterodiatomic molecules. Then, see, in a diatomic molecule, the electrons move in an electrostatic field which is symmetric about an axis passing through both the nuclei. You know very well, in a diatomic molecule we have electrons and we have two nuclei, and nuclei carry positive charge, electrons carry negative charge. So there will be an electrostatic attraction between the two nuclei and the electrons. Okay, so these electrons are actually moving in the electrostatic field generated by the two nuclei. Okay, then, and this field is actually symmetric about the internuclear axis. So these electrons are actually revolving around the internuclear axis. Okay, we can imagine like that. Then, for molecules, we are going to derive term symbols, molecular term symbols, by using the same technique which we were using. We were used in term symbols for atoms and monoatomic ions. Okay, so we are going to use the same technique called Russell-Sander coupling technique. So we are going to derive molecular term symbols based on Russell-Sander coupling technique. Okay, so according to which, what we have to do, we should find out total orbital angular momentum first, then total spin angular momentum, then based on this we should write the term symbol, then it will undergo further splitting, right, spin orbit splitting or coupling. Okay, so first we'll understand this one. Okay, so we have a diatomic molecule, right, this is nuclei A and this is nuclei B. Listen, each electron in molecule, right, is present in a molecular orbital. Okay, you know very well, in atoms electrons are present in atomic orbital, whereas in molecules electrons are present in molecular orbital. Whatever maybe it is, okay, depending upon the molecular orbital in which the electron is present, the electron will have some angular momentum. Okay, so every electron in the molecule has an orbital angular momentum, right, and we know very well angular momentum is a vectorial quantity. Therefore, the orbital angular momentum of all the electrons, all these vectors, they add together, they couple together and gives a resultant orbital angular momentum, also called total orbital angular momentum, which is represented, okay, by the line L here. Okay, so this is L vector. L vector is nothing but total orbital angular momentum vector. Now, in most molecule, this electrostatic field, okay, is so high, okay, so that this vector starts to, this vector precesses about the internuclear axis. This axis, see, this axis is called internuclear axis. This vector, okay, it precesses about the internuclear axis with a very high speed. In a rapid manner, the precession will occur. Okay, so that we can define the term symbol using the component of the vector, okay, along the internuclear axis. So what is meant by that? You draw a perpendicular line, okay, from here to the internuclear axis. Now this length from here to here, this length is called lambda. What is lambda? Lambda is nothing but component of orbital angular momentum, total orbital angular momentum along the internuclear axis. Okay, so we can, using this, we are going to state, or we are going to provide the term symbols for the molecules. Are you able to understand? Yeah. So listen, why we are taking this component? Because this, the measurement of this orbital angular momentum, right, is very, very difficult. So calculation of this is very, very difficult. So we are going to take the component of orbital angular momentum, total orbital angular momentum along the internuclear axis, right? Now, so here total orbital angular momentum vector is L. Component of the total orbital angular momentum along the internuclear axis is given as lambda, big lambda. Okay, I call this as big lambda. Big lambda is equal to magnitude of big ML. Okay, what is big ML? Big ML is nothing but summation of small ML for each and every electron. What is small ML? Small ML is nothing but the component of orbital angular momentum, right, along the internuclear axis for each electron. So if you add all the ML values here, ML can be positive, negative, it can also be 0. So if you add all ML values for all the electrons, okay, then you will get the total ML. Okay, this big ML can be either positive or negative. Okay, then, but we are going to define lambda in such a manner that lambda should be the magnitude of the ML. ML can be positive or negative, but lambda is always positive quantity. Okay, now in molecular orbital theory, we are going to use the symbol lambda instead of ML. So you can use either ML or lambda, it is up to us, but we are going to follow the symbol lambda here. Okay, so lambda and ML are one and the same. So summation of lambda I will give you the big ML. Okay, now listen, if electron is present in sigma bonding molecular orbital or sigma star anti-bonding molecular orbital, then the orbital, the component of orbital angular momentum of electron, okay, present in sigma orbital or sigma star orbital is actually 0. They do not give any angular momentum about the internuclear axis. Similarly, if electron is present in pi molecular orbital, pi 2px or pi 2py, okay, then the values are +1 or -1. If it is present in pi 2px, we'll put +1. If it is present in pi 2py, we'll put -1. Similarly, for pi star orbital also we have pi star 2px and pi star 2py, and they will have the component of orbital angular momentum along the internuclear axis is either +1 or -1. Similarly, for delta and delta star molecular orbitals, they have value +2 and -2. Okay, so these are all component of orbital angular momentum of each electron. Okay, each electron along the internuclear axis when it is present in these orbitals, right? Then after getting lambda, right, this lambda value will give us to decide the term symbols. Okay, if lambda value is 0, then the term symbol that we are using is sigma. Okay, big sigma, I'll just call it as big sigma. If lambda is 1, pi. If lambda is 2, delta. If lambda is 3, phi. If lambda is 4, we should use the symbol gamma. Okay, like that we have many symbols. These are all symbols available for diatomic molecules. Okay, next. Listen, similar as like orbital angular momentum. Okay, each electron has spin and we have spin angular momentum. These spin angular momentum of each electron, okay, are also vectorial quantities. They add up together and give us a total spin angular momentum. Okay, total spin angular momentum is also a vector quantity. This vector also precesses about the internuclear axis, and the component of total spin angular momentum along the internuclear axis, okay, is given by the symbol sigma. But for term symbol also we are using the same symbol sigma. To avoid that confusion, okay, we are going to use the symbol capital S. Okay, then so capital S indicate the component of total spin angular momentum along the internuclear axis. Okay, yeah. So total electron spin angular momentum vector is represented as S vector. Component of total spin angular momentum along the internuclear axis is given a symbol capital S. Okay, then component of total spin angular momentum of all the electrons, we are going to use the symbol S along the internuclear axis, can be calculated using this formula. Okay, this is component of total spin angular momentum along the internuclear axis, which is equal to sum of spin quantum number for each electron. Okay, you know very well, for electron the spin quantum number can take either plus half, or minus half, depending upon whether the spin is clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, then spin multiplicity can be calculated using the formula 2s plus 1. Okay, then so far we looked at what is meant by total orbital angular momentum and what is the component of total orbital angular momentum along the internuclear axis. Then we discussed the total spin angular momentum and the component of total spin angular momentum along the internuclear axis. Okay, now the component of total angular momentum, that is the sum of lambda and S. What is lambda? Lambda is the component of total orbital angular momentum along internuclear axis. What is S? S is the component of total spin angular momentum along the internuclear axis. And if you add these two, okay, then that value is taken as the component of total angular momentum along the internuclear axis. Okay, this is due to spin orbit coupling. Okay, now when to give the symbol gerade and ungerade in term symbols, okay, or for a term symbol of a molecule. If a molecular orbital is symmetric with respect to inversion, then we should give the notation gerade. If molecular orbital is anti-symmetric with respect to inversion, then the notation that we use is ungerade. Okay, so suppose if I take a sigma bonding molecular orbital, this is the nucleus of one atom, this is the nucleus of another atom, and you know very well, in sigma bonding molecular orbital, okay, the sign of the wave function is same, right? So here the sign of the wave function is positive throughout. So you take the center point of this orbital, center point, and you take any 2 points here. Let's suppose I'll take a point here, and in the exactly opposite side I'll take another point. Okay, see, the wave function, sign of the wave function at this point is plus. Similarly, sign of the wave function at this point also plus. And if I do inversion, okay, sign of the wave function does not change. Correct? If you do inversion, this point will come over here and this point will go there, but sign remains same. Therefore, this orbital, sigma bonding molecular orbital, is symmetric with respect to inversion. Therefore, we should use gerade symbol for sigma bonding molecular orbital. Similarly, if you go to sigma star, this is the molecular orbital of sigma star, structure of sigma star molecular orbital. So this is the center point. Now from the center point, okay, you take a point, okay, in this lobe. Say I'll take a point here. In the same distance, with the same distance, in the exactly opposite side, you take another point. Now the wave function at this point is minus. Sign of the wave function at this point is minus, whereas sign of the wave function here is plus. So if you do inversion, the sign will change. Okay, so this orbital, sigma star molecular orbital, is anti-symmetric with respect to inversion. Therefore, it is given a symbol ungerade. Right? Then pi bonding molecular orbital. If you take pi bonding molecular orbital, you know very well pi bonding molecular orbital has two lobes, one above the internuclear axis, the other one is below the internuclear axis. Okay, and the sign of this lobe, if it is positive, then the sign of the other lobe should be negative. Now from the center point, okay, you take any point on this lobe. Suppose I'll take a point here. In the exactly opposite side, with the same distance, you take another point on this lobe. Now listen, in this point sign of the wave function is positive, whereas in this point sign of the wave function is negative. So if you do inversion, the sign will change. Are you clear? Therefore, this orbital, pi bonding molecular orbital, is antisymmetric with respect to inversion. Therefore, we give the notation 1 gerade. Okay. In a similar manner, you can find this. You can also show that this molecular orbital, pi star molecular orbital, is symmetric with respect to inversion. Therefore, you will get gerade symbol. So remember, sigma molecular orbital and pi star. Sigma and pi star, they have gerade symmetry. Sigma star and pi, they have 1 gerade symmetry. Okay, so remember all the information. And this is very, very important. Gerade into gerade. If you multiply to gerade symmetry, you will get gerade. Similarly, 1 gerade into 1 gerade is gerade. Gerade into 1 gerade or 1 gerade into gerade will give you 1 gerade symmetry. Okay, so remember these informations. Okay, what is the symmetry of bonding, sigma star anti-bonding, pi bonding, and pi star anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Okay, then listen, whenever the term symbol comes out as sigma, okay, for sigma state, okay, some additional symmetry is required. Okay, we use the symbol plus or minus. Right, plus and minus indicates some additional symmetry. That is actually reflection symmetry. What is meant by that? If the wave function corresponding to the sigma state is symmetric with respect to reflection about a plane passing through internuclear axis, then we'll give plus sign. Suppose if the wave function is antisymmetric with respect to reflection about a plane passing through internuclear axis, then we'll give minus sign. Okay, this plus and minus are given only for the sigma states. Okay, because sigma state alone requires some additional classification. So we are using the notation plus and minus, right? Whether plus and minus depends upon the reflection of the wave function about a plane passing through internuclear axis. Okay, so some information based on this. Okay, you should remember, if all the molecular orbitals are fully filled, for a molecule, if all the molecular orbitals are fully filled, for fully filled molecular orbitals, okay, then we should give positive sign. For half filled pi molecular orbitals, if pi molecular orbitals are half filled, or we can say the subshell, pi subshell, if the pi subshell is half filled, then check the spatial part of the wave function. If the spatial part is singlet, we should give plus sign. If the spatial part is triplet, we should give minus sign. Remember, these are all some important informations. I am giving you some shortcut method to find the plus and minus signs, because actually you have to apply some quantum mechanical method to identify this plus and minus. Okay, so to make the concept simple, I'll just give this information in this way. Okay, if half-filled pi molecular orbitals are given, right, then check the spatial part of the wave function. If the spatial part is singlet, use plus sign. If the spatial part is triplet, use minus sign. Are you clear? Then, okay, now how to write the term symbol for a molecule. For homodiatomic molecule, we write the term symbol in this way. What is this? We should give the symbol corresponding to the value of lambda. Okay, you know very well, if lambda is 0, we should give sigma symbol. Okay, we have discussed already. I'll show you anyway. So if lambda value is 0, we should give the sigma symbol. If lambda value is 1, we should give pi symbol. If lambda value is 2, we should give delta symbol. Like that, for a different value of lambda, we have different symbols. Okay, so while writing the term symbol of the molecule, okay, first you find out the value of lambda and write the symbol corresponding to that value of lambda. Then in the left hand side superscript, write the multiplicity of the spin state of the molecule. Then in the right hand side subscript, you should put gerade or ungerade symmetry. and in the right hand side superscript you should put plus or minus sign, okay, if it is required. I told you plus minus symbol is applicable only for sigma state. Okay, then for heterodiatomic molecule, right, same concept we have to apply, but here for heterodiatomic molecule Gerard ungerard notation is not applicable. So instead of that we are going to write the omega symbol. What is omega? Omega is the spin orbit coupling term, okay, value. Now, okay, now we will discuss some examples, that is how to find molecular term symbols for a molecule and for the given configuration. Okay, so first I have taken hydrogen molecule as an example here. Now, for hydrogen molecule the ground state configuration is given sigma G 1s2. So both the electrons are present in the ground molecular orbital. Since two electrons are present in the same molecular orbital, according to Pauli principle, they must have opposite spin. Okay, then. So how to calculate the big lambda? Big lambda is equal to lambda 1 plus lambda 2 because we have two electrons. Now, what is the small lambda? Small lambda indicates the orbital component of orbital angular momentum of the electron 1 along internuclear axis. This is component of orbital angular momentum of electron 2 along the internuclear axis. I have told you already, if the electrons are present in sigma molecular orbital or sigma star molecular orbital, then the lambda values must be 0. So lambda value for electron 1 is 0, lambda value for the electron 2 also 0. If we add these two, so the big lambda is also 0. If lambda is 0, yeah, actually you should take the magnitude of this value, right? Yeah. So the value is 0 in this case. If lambda is 0, then it corresponds to a sigma state. So the term symbol is sigma here. Then what is the total spin? Right? How to calculate total spin? Total spin can be calculated using spins of the individual electron. Okay, here electron 1, suppose if we take this is electron 1 which has plus of spin and electron 2 has minus of spin. Okay, so if you add the two, you will get, okay, so total spin is equal to S1 plus S2. S1 is plus of and S2 is minus of. If you add these two, you will get the answer as 0. So total spin is 0. Therefore, the spin multiplicity equal to, what is the formula for spin multiplicity? 2s plus 1. So if you substitute s is equal to 0 here, you will get the answer as 1. It means the ground state configuration of hydrogen molecule corresponds to a singlet state. Okay, then both the electrons are present in the sigma Gerard orbital. You know very well sigma bonding, this is sigma, no, sigma bonding is Gerard, right? So even if the Gerard is notation is not given, you should identify that, because for sigma molecular orbital, the symmetry corresponds to sigma molecular orbital is Gerard, and symmetry corresponds to sigma star molecular orbital is ungerard. Okay, so since both the electrons are present in sigma bonding molecular orbital, so symmetry of both the electrons are Gerard. You know very well Gerard into Gerard is Gerard. Therefore, for this configuration, okay, the total symmetry is Gerard. Then, and you know very well, whenever you will get sigma state, okay, you should find the plus and minus notation, right? And listen, this is very, very important for sigma bonding molecular orbital as well as for sigma star bonding molecular orbital. Since both are cylindrically symmetric about the internuclear axis, okay, if you do reflection about the internuclear axis, these two molecular orbitals, they do not change sign. Therefore, both the molecular orbitals are symmetric with respect to the reflection about a plane passing through internuclear axis. So for sigma molecular orbital, okay, the sign is plus. For sigma star also the sign is plus. Therefore, for both the electrons, since both the electrons are present in sigma G 1s2, okay, so we should give plus symbol for both. Plus into plus is plus, right? Now, therefore, the term symbol corresponds to this configuration. Term symbol corresponds to this configuration is, yeah, symbol sigma. In the left hand side superscript, you should put the spin multiplicity value, which is singlet here. So singlet sigma Gerard, in the superscript of right hand side, put plus symbol. So singlet sigma plus Gerard. This is the term symbol for hydrogen. Okay, then the second example. Now we'll take a excited state of hydrogen molecule. This is one possible excited state where one electron is transferred from sigma g 1s to sigma star 1s. Okay, so this is bonding molecular orbital and this is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so here we have different possibilities. What are the different possibilities? This is the ground sigma g 1s and this is sigma star u 1s. So both the electrons may have same spin, or the electrons may also have opposite spin. So if both the electrons are same spin, it is a triplet. If both the electrons have opposite spin, then the electrons, if the electrons have opposite spin, then it corresponds to a singlet state. Okay, now how to find the value of lambda? Yeah, this electron 1 is present in sigma g 1s, electron 2 is present in sigma star u. Okay, so and we know very well for sigma bonding molecular orbital as well as for sigma star anti-bonding molecular orbital, lambda values, small lambda values are 0. Therefore for electron 1 it is 0, electron 2 also 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, therefore lambda value is 0. If lambda is 0, then it corresponds to a sigma state. Okay, so if lambda is 0, then the term symbol is sigma. Then what's the value of S? Total spin. Total spin is nothing but the sum of the individual spins of the electron. So the individual spins can be both plus of, or the other possibility is one is plus of, the other one is minus of. So both can be plus of. If both are plus of, then total S equal to 1. If S is equal to 1, then the spin multiplicity will be equal to 3. And what is the other possibility? One electron is having plus of spin, the other electron having minus of spin. Therefore if we add these two, S is equal to 0. If S is 0, then the spin multiplicity is 1. So two different states are possible, spin state. One is triplet state, the other one is a singlet state. Okay, then see, electron 1 is present in Gerard symmetry and electron 2 is present in orbital having Ungerad symmetry. Okay, listen, this Gerard-Ungerad symbol may not be given. If it is not given, you should identify it. Okay, for sigma bonding molecular orbital, the symmetry is Gerard, and for sigma star anti-bonding molecular orbital, the symmetry is Ungerad. We have discussed it already. Okay, now, so electron 1 is present in molecular orbital having Gerard symmetry. Electron 2 is present in molecular orbital having Ungerad symmetry. So Gerard into Ungerad is Ungerad. Therefore, the symmetry of the given electronic configuration is Ungerad. Okay, then since the electronic state is in sigma state, we should identify the plus and minus symmetry for the given configuration. Okay, electron 1 is present in sigma orbital, electron 2 is present in sigma star orbital. As I told you before, for both sigma and sigma star, the symbol is plus. Therefore, for electron 1, the symbol is plus. The electron 2 also, the symbol is plus. What is plus here? Plus means the wave function is symmetric with respect to a reflection, about a plane passing through the internuclear axis. Okay, so both are plus, so plus into plus is plus. Therefore, the possible term symbols are triplet sigma u plus. Okay, because for one possibility of the configuration is triplet, the other possibility of the configuration is singlet. So you will get two possible terms. One is triplet sigma plus Ungerad, the other one is singlet sigma plus Ungerad. So these two terms, or these two electronic levels, arises due to electron-electron repulsion of electron-electron repulsion corresponding to this configuration. So that's why I told you an electronic configuration never corresponds to a particular electronic level. Okay, actually an electronic configuration may have many electronic levels. Okay, so this is a nice example to understand this, right? Then, so for this excited state, right, hydrogen molecule has two possible electronic levels due to electron-electron repulsion. Okay, then see, in these two levels, right? Which one is lower level and which one is higher level? Listen, that we can find only through the quantum chemical calculation or through by experiment. Okay, we cannot apply Hund's rule here because it is an excited state. Okay, then the next example is lithium diatomic molecule. Okay, this lithium diatomic molecule has totally 6 electrons. So the ground state configuration of the molecule is this: sigma g 1s2, sigma star u 1s2, sigma g 2s2. And we know very well that for completely filled molecular orbitals, see, all the molecular orbitals are completely filled. For completely filled molecular orbitals, you will get lambda as 0. If lambda is 0, then it corresponds to a sigma state. And you know very well, whenever sigma state arises, then you should give plus and minus symmetry also. Okay, and all the molecular orbitals are fully filled, so all the electrons must be in a paired form. Okay, therefore the total spin should be 0. If total spin is 0, then the spin multiplicity should be equal to 1. So this configuration, this the ground state configuration of lithium diatomic molecule corresponds to a singlet state. Okay, then for completely filled molecular orbitals, I have given this already. For completely filled molecular orbitals, you will get Gerard symmetry. Why? See, 2 electrons are present here, so Gerard into Gerard is Gerard. 2 electrons are present here, 1 Gerard into 1 Gerard also Gerard, and 2 electrons are here, Gerard into Gerard is Gerard. So if you multiply all the Gerards, you will get the answer as Gerard. So for completely filled molecular orbitals, you will get the total symmetry as Gerard. Similarly, for completely filled molecular orbitals, you will get the total symmetry as plus. Okay, therefore the term symbol for the ground state configuration of lithium diatomic molecule is singlet. Okay, multiplicity is singlet, symbol is sigma, so singlet sigma plus Gerard. This is the term symbol for lithium diatomic molecules for the given ground state electronic configuration. Okay, then now I'll take another example. This is actually a very important example. Boron diatomic molecule. Boron diatomic molecule has 10 electrons, and the ground state configuration of boron molecule is given here. Listen, every time you need not write sigma g 1s, sigma star 1s and all. Okay, instead of that you can put simply kk. Kk, sigma g 2s2, sigma star 2s2, then pi u 2px, pi u 2py, these two orbitals have same energy. Okay, so see, in kk shell we put 4 electrons. Okay, here this kk accommodate 4 electrons, and here we have 2, here we have 2, so total 8, plus actually total number of electrons is 10. So we have filled these molecular orbitals with 8 electrons. So remaining 2 electrons should be placed in these molecular orbitals. Since these two molecular orbitals have same energy, these 2 electrons can be placed in a different possible manner. Okay, what are the different possible way? You can place both the electrons in pi 2 px. Okay, or you can place both the electrons in pi 2 py, or you can place one electron here and one electron here with the same spin. Okay, upward spin or downward spin, or one is upward, the other one is downward. First one downward, second one upward. So these are all the possible ways of assigning the electrons in these two molecular orbitals. Okay, now if we take the first 2 cases, this is third one, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5, and this is 6. So we have 6 different possibilities. For the first one, both the electrons are placed in pi 2 px orbital. For this orbital, small lambda value is +1. So both the electrons takes +1 value. Therefore, the big lambda is given as +1 plus +1 equal to 2. So if lambda is 2, it corresponds to a delta state. Okay, and since both the electrons are paired, total spin is 0. Therefore, spin multiplicity is singlet. So this corresponds to a singlet delta state. Similarly, or singlet delta level, electronic level. Similarly, if both electrons are placed here, okay, for this orbital, lambda value, small lambda is -1. So for both the electrons, the values are -1. Therefore, the big lambda can be calculated as the magnitude of sum of the two small lambdas. -1 plus -1 is -2, and the magnitude of -2 is 2. Therefore, lambda is 2. If lambda is 2, it corresponds to a delta level again. Okay, and for this configuration, total spin is 0. Therefore, this also corresponds to singlet delta. Listen, these two configurations, right, they are actually degenerate, right? Then for this possibility, see the two electrons having same spin, right? Here for this small lambda is +1, for this small lambda is -1. If you add this, you will get lambda as 0. So for all these 4, you will get lambda value as 0. And for this one, for these for third one and fourth one, both the electrons having upward spin, therefore you will get triplet state. Okay, so lambda 0 means sigma. So these two corresponds to triplet sigma, and these two corresponds to singlet sigma. Okay, so for this configuration, you will get 3 different electronic levels. Okay, 3 different electronic levels due to electron-electron repulsion alone. Okay, now what is the symmetry? Listen, pi 2 px, this is Ungerade, this is also Ungerade. In the first case, right, Ungerade into Ungerade is Gerade. Here also Ungerade is Gerade. So for all these, okay, you'll get Ungerade into Ungerade as Gerade. So this configuration, right, this configuration has Gerade symmetry. Okay, then for sigma state, we should find out the plus and minus sign. Listen, these sigmas are corresponds to wave function of the spatial orbital, right? So if the spatial wave function, spatial part of the wave function has triplet state, we should give minus sign. I have given this point already. If the spatial part is singlet, then we should give plus sign. Therefore, the term symbols are, okay, I have given the term symbols in the increasing order of energy. See, we have written in the increasing order of energy because this configuration is a ground state configuration, and we know very well Hund's rule is applicable for ground state configuration. So according to Hund's rule, triplet state supposed to have the lowest possible energy. So triplet sigma Gerade minus corresponds to the lower electronic level. Then for these two states, spin multiplicities are same. If spin multiplicities are same, then you should see the lambda value. Okay, delta for delta symbol, the lambda value is 2. Therefore, this is supposed to have the next lower energy. Okay, so triplet sigma G minus is the lowest electronic level possible. Then the next higher level is singlet delta G, and the last one is the next higher level is singlet sigma G plus. Okay, yeah, I stop here. We'll continue with the more examples in the next class. Okay. Thank you.